You're listening to Real Conversations, where every week we take a peek at the favorite movies of fascinating people. Real Conversations is hosted by Brian Coley, the founder of Art Within and Real. Today, Brian sits down with Clay Scroggins. Clay is the lead pastor at North Point Community Church in Alpharetta, Georgia, and author of a new book entitled How to Lead When You're Not in Charge. You can find out more information on the book and Clay at clayscroggins.com.
All right, so today I'm with Clay Scroggins, and I would love to know what's on your top 10 list, Clay.
So I just jump in and reel these off?
You just go, man. That's how we do things here at Real. It's just do it.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, all right.
Good Will Hunting.
Yep.
A Few Good Men.
Just a few. Yeah.
Just a few. Mm-hmm. The Bourne Ultimatum.
Oh, so not Identity, Ultimatum.
I honestly could have put any of the three on there.
Yeah? But you chose.
I chose The Ultimatum.
Yeah? Why that one instead of Identity?
Because it got better reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. So I felt like I was agreeing with more people.
Following the crowd. Okay, I get it. Which explains the next movie. Go ahead.
That's true. Star Wars, but specifically The Force Awakens.
So you're a new school, not an old. Are you an old school Star Wars too?
No. So this is embarrassing. I don't know. For the longest time, I carried it as a badge of pride. But I grew up in a moderately fundamental Christian home. We didn't watch a lot of movies. We missed the entire 80s. So
I was wondering where the 80s were. You got a lot of 90s on your.
Yeah. So I watched I had seen no Star Wars, and then I married a gal who is my wife, and she has 3 brothers, and they are way into Star Wars. So now that we have kids, my kids, they watch all the old ones, and so I have seen the old ones now for the first time with my kids. But I actually saw Force Awakens before I saw any of the old ones. Yeah. So
I wasn't a Star Wars fan either. You know?
Really?
Of course, I was a Spielberg fan. So, it's not one of the same. But I was into obviously Back to the Future and Raiders and all that kind of stuff. E.T. But I didn't. 70s. I was conservative Baptist upbringing, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Although my parents took me to Blazing Saddles, which is kind of crazy. Okay. Like I remember that was my first R-rated movie. What was your first R-rated movie? Do you remember?
Gosh.
That was a defining moment for me.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It was 6th grade. Sharon Stone, Michael Douglas.
Oh, Basic Instinct?
Basic Instinct.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
That's some hardcore stuff there.
Well, we weren't watching it for the entertainment of it, unfortunately. I was in the 6th grade. I was spending the night with a buddy, and his older brother had gotten the movie. It's one of those kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
So am I allowed to share that as a pastor?
Hey, I think you just did.
That's the God-honest truth right there. Yeah, so that was my first rated R movie.
I get it, yeah. Well, keep going.
Speaking of rated R movies,
yeah, keep going. Now you've really teed up the next one.
That's right. No Country for Old Men.
Nice movie, yeah. Great. Double dose of the Coen brothers.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Raising Arizona.
One of their first movies, I guess, probably.
Yeah, man, I love
one of the more
movie.
recent ones. Yeah, Raising Arizona.
Yep.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, little Spielberg there.
Oh, I don't think I realized that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't look like a Spielberg movie, does it?
No. Mm-hmm. Rushmore.
Yep.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
And then Friday.
Okay.
That comes out of left field a little bit.
Yeah, tell me about Friday.
So, I grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I graduated high school in 1998, so I think Friday came out in like 95. Our high school was 75% black.
Wow.
And I played basketball.
You played basketball?
I did. Well, I was on the team.
Okay.
I was on the team.
All right.
I honestly didn't play much, but
you're not exactly a tall guy.
I know,
either.
And I can't jump high, run fast, or shoot well. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, I provided leadership, and there was one other white guy on the team, and we called ourselves the Caucasian Persuasion.
Nice.
That was our
That's good.
Our little gang that we had. But anyway, Friday ran in our locker room on repeat.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I don't know. There's something nostalgic about it for me. I mean, I think I think Chris Tucker is
he's
hilarious.
Yeah, he's
but
great.
I don't know. I actually like the. It's got an underdog feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't like all the pot in the movie. Anyway, yeah, but that's the. I tried to be honest. I tried to think like, look, don't like give. What are the 10 movies that if they were on right now, I would stop what I'm doing and watch it?
So tell me which one would you pick that you would never, ever, ever take off your top 10?
I would probably say Good Will Hunting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tell me why.
It has an emotional depth to it. I love that Sean is trying to help someone. Mm-hmm. I like that feeling of he's got this kid that has so much potential and he's trying to unlock his potential. So I spent so much time in youth ministry that probably taps into that. I mean, I love that. Like, my favorite thing in the line of work that I do is a 15-year-old shows up and their stepmom drops them off and they are pissed to be here and they don't care about Jesus, church, nothing. And so to try to warm that kid up and build a relationship and get them to drop their guard and let them know that somebody loves them and better than that, God loves them. I think I like that storyline a lot.
That's good. Yeah, I was noticing there's a couple of films that are set in school, Rushmore being one of them, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Why am I not finding the other one? I thought there was one more.
Shawshank? Are we calling that a school?
No, that's not. That is a different kind of learning. Oh, no, I was thinking about Catch Me If You Can, that he's a high school student.
Oh, yeah. He's like 17, I guess, probably when it starts.
Yeah, so I was thinking they were kind of very eccentric, gifted high schooler or students, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Will is obviously just gifted beyond his belief. And then...
Right.
And then
the
Max.
Kid in Rushmore, Max.
Yeah, he's not exactly gifted, but he's
I think he's
gifted at some other things.
He has like a 37 in his lit class.
But he's got the extracurricular activities.
That's right.
And then of course Leonardo DiCaprio is pretty gifted in the con artist way. So tell me about that. Did you? What was high school like, and then why a pull toward high schoolers? You kind of mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, I did that for I spent 10 years of my working life doing that, and then probably 5 years as a volunteer. So 15 years.
Wow.
Trying to help mentor, help influence high school students. I mean, as a high school student, I probably was a little bit like Max from Rushmore. I was involved in a lot. I probably took school a little bit more seriously than he did, but that's not saying a lot. I was in student government and always running for some kind of office. Mm-hmm. My 12th grade slogans were, there's a rapper named Juvenile who had a song called Back That Thing Up. And so my slogan was Back That Thing Up and Vote for Scroggins.
Oh, wow.
Destiny's Child had just released Say My Name, Say My Name. Mm-hmm. That's Beyonce's group. Mm-hmm. And so I did Say My Name, and vote for Clay Scroggins. So
now 75% were African American.
Yeah.
So did you make it?
Was I pandering? Is that what you're asking,
no,
Brian?
No, I wasn't pandering. I'm just wondering what the end of the story is.
I was elected.
Really?
Yeah. So I was elected as our senior class president, and then what our high school for whatever reason at our graduation, most schools, if you're the valedictorian, you speak at graduation. Yeah. But our school, the senior class president spoke at graduation.
Wow. Okay.
And it was in Coleman Coliseum, the basketball arena on the University of Alabama's campus, because I grew up in right next to the university. And it wasn't full; it was probably a third of the way full, but. I didn't know what senior speech or graduation speech should be, and so I had such a my faith has been a sincere part of my life since I was about 15, and so I preached this sermon as my senior speech.
Wow, that's pretty bold.
And I remember I intentionally didn't run it by the principal because I was thinking like, are they not going to like this? And I thought, you know what, this is what I want to say. This is what I would tell people about the next season of life. But that's probably, that was the first time I'd ever really spoken publicly. So that was that's definitely a big part of my story of just wanting to help people, wanting to tell people about the love of a God who is crazy about us, and that was a big monumental step for me in high school.
Was just getting up and doing that speech.
Yeah, and I'm a people pleaser, so there was definitely a legitimate fear in me of, oh no, like what will people think, and what, anyway. But
well, the next day you would never see them, any of them.
That's again. So true. I don't think that hit me in the moment, but
right.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Then what was unusual about it was because of the culture of our school being so heavily African American. So as soon as I had this whole thing in the speech where it was all about what do you do in life when stuff doesn't go well and the bottom drops out and stuff happens. And I talked about a rope and how the only rope that can really hold you up is Jesus. And as soon as I said that, it was like you got a picture.
Church just happened.
Church broke out in this place. Yeah. Women standing up on their seats going like, come on, boy, tell them about you. It was like it was like the whole crowd, like literally, moved into a church building, and they just awesome. Like, we're about to have church. So it honestly caught me off guard because I was like, what in the world just happened? And I was not expecting that. And
that was a pretty big defining moment, I would imagine, because
it was cool. Yeah,
pretty nervous about doing it, and then all of a sudden being affirmed in it was pretty cool, I would imagine.
For probably 60 seconds, it threw me off, and then
it was
I
good.
think then it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. That and I don't know. That was probably, maybe that was God's way of saying like, hey, come on, like this is what you should be doing, and this is good, and I hope you enjoy it, kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, let me ask you this. So which of these characters would you say you identify with most? You talked about Max, but of all these, characters, you can pick it out of any of them. Which one would you say really is the one that you would liken yourself to?
I think I like Finn on The Force Awakens a lot. I like his playfulness. He's just got a good comedy about him.
Yeah.
I like his urgency. He's very positive, upbeat, quick to like people. Mm-hmm. I love how quickly he attaches to Rey.
Yeah. Is there since he's African American, and then you have Shawshank, just that concept of really knitted relationship between white guy, black guy.
I haven't thought about that. I thought for a second you were asking me, Brian, if I wanted to be black. I thought that's what you were going to ask me.
Well, Friday is on there. Sort of. I think we already established that. So
I don't know. There's probably something in there. That's a big conversation right now at our church. Because of just the climate in America and what happened to Alton Sterling in Louisiana and the young man in Minnesota. That's infuriating, and I think there is probably a heightened sense of, or a heightened desire, I guess, for, I think for any influence that I have in other people with my tone of skin to try to help us all be a little bit more empathetic to what someone who lives as a minority might feel. That might be. Yeah, there might be something to that.
Let's go there for a second. So for you as a campus pastor here, and I know this speaks to a lot of pastors who are out there. You can speak to this. How do you bridge the ultimate segregation that we see on Sundays?
Well,
how does it start looking like Shawshank Redemption?
Right. Yeah. I don't feel a responsibility, I guess, for a diverse congregation. I feel responsible for our congregation to mirror the community we live in. My biggest, and probably the most embarrassing thing about our church to me is that our staff here, we have about 100 people on staff, and out of the 100 people on staff, we have 2 African Americans. So that's what's most embarrassing to me. Our church actually looks, just on a Sunday,